Hi, I'm Bruce Richardson, Tea Master for the Boston Tea Party Ships and Museum. Can you spot the dish in front of me that contains no true tea leaf? If you chose this one, peppermint, you're right. Peppermint is an herb. It contains no caffeine, but it has none of tea's healthy benefits. Let me introduce you today to 4 of the major members of the tea families. We begin with tea in its purest form, white tea. This is a beautiful silver needles from China. These young unopened tea leaves were picked in the springtime, placed into the sun, and slowly were allowed to dry. Oxidation is very, very light in these teas. They produce a beautiful golden cup, very light in color, but with a delicious honey aftertaste. As we've talked about before, almost 20% of the tea thrown overboard in Boston Harbor was green tea from China. Here we have a green tea from Japan, Sencha, the most consumed green tea in Japan today. These mechanically harvested tea leaves are put into a steamer where the enzymes are killed, and this tea will forever and always stay in its green state. The third family is oolong. These leaves are picked generally in either China or Taiwan. Here today I have a beautiful tea kuan yin. The leaves are put into a wok where they are roasted a bit, then rolled, and then put back into a wok, and they go through this process several times until we get this beautiful hand-rolled nugget of leaf which unfurls once we put hot water again into our teapot. The last family is black tea. This is the tea that we're most acquainted with here in the Western world. This example today is my morning tea, and that is a tippy grade Assam from India. These teas, as soon as they are picked in the gardens, are allowed to wither, and then they are put through huge machines that bruise them and allow the juices of the tea leaf to open up to the air. The oxidation process begins very quickly, and after 3 or 4 hours, the tea goes from being green to being black. Then it's put into a dryer, which then stops the oxidation process and makes this beautiful black tea that we're so well acquainted with. Now, each one of these tea families has its own unique water temperature. And we begin with white tea at no more than 165 degrees, green tea 165 to 170 degrees, oolongs 190 to 210 depending upon the grade, and then black teas, well, most black teas can benefit from a full rolling boil. Now, how can you remember this? Well, just remember, the lighter the color of the tea, the cooler the water. The darker the tea, the hotter the water. If you can remember that simple rule, you're on your way to making great tea time after time. Well, until we see you in Boston, go forth and make good tea.